Good morning. Good morning. Today, welcome. Oh gosh, what's happening here? Welcome, welcome to another Google Right or Wrong episode. Today we're gonna bust some myths and we're gonna check out if Google is right or wrong. I'm gonna give you my opinion on if Google is right about beating the bloat for women 40 plus. We call it Meno belly or a number of other entertaining words that might not be so entertaining if you're dealing with it right now. If you're not sure who I am, my name is Drew Tadia, founder and CEO of True Form Life. For the past 20 years, we've been working with women 40 plus to help them increase energy, burn body fat, and balance hormones. So this is right up our alley. We work with women every day, and we explain to them what steps they can take to reduce bloating. So let's dive in. Let's Google. I just want to get here. This is a live recording. You guys may be hearing this as a replay somewhere, like on our Ageless Energy podcast, possibly our YouTube videos, our YouTube channel, I meant. But if you have any questions live, feel free to drop them below, and I'll answer. Otherwise, let's get into it. So my idea here behind this series is a lot of times we Google, not really sure what we're looking for or what the answer is. So we feel like if we Google something, we'll get an accurate answer. And I'm going to argue that's not always the case. Sometimes I feel like we continue to Google or search engine just about anything, and we think because we read one line, we know the answer. Or because, I also think that we keep searching until we find the answer we want, and then we're like, oh, I searched it, I looked it up, I found it on Google. And I don't, it doesn't matter to me what search engine you're looking for. I don't particularly use Google that often, to be honest with you, but let's jump into it and see what we have. Good morning, Sam, and Randall jumped in here as well. Okay. So all I'm doing is Googling. If you're watching me, that's what I'm doing right now. And if you are listening, I'm also doing that. So let's see if I typed in how to reduce bloating for women over 40. Okay, I'm just going to read some basics here, and then I'll dive into. So eating smaller meals more frequently, staying hydrated, exercising regularly, avoiding foods that trigger bloating, right, pretty general, chewing food thoroughly, and then limiting carbonated drinks and managing stress. Okay, that's a pretty good generalization. It's AI, actually. Interesting. All right, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper here. What causes bloating in 40-year-old women? Participating in activities that cause your body to retain water. Okay, not helpful. Okay, eat slowly. Okay, how do I de-bloat my stomach ASAP? Beat the bloat. Eat slowly, chew your food well, drink beverages at room temperature. Okay, let's dive into this a little bit more, because I'm going to agree with some of these and disagree with some of these. So eating slowly is a great idea. So what happens is we actually have a digestive enzyme in our saliva called amylase. So the more you chew, the more that enzyme is coating your food and breaking it down. So we actually have a full digestion module in our school account, but we go through a step-by-step process on how to improve your digestion, and digestion really starts from before your food hits your mouth. It actually, so for example, like most of us have heard of Ivan Pavlov and the dog and the bell. So like he rings the bell and the dog eventually starts to salivate. I'm not going to go through the whole thing for you, but every time he rings the bell, he starts to salivate. So that is actually starting digestion when you start to salivate. So sometimes you think of food, sometimes you see food or smell food. Your digestion is actually already started. When you have like foods that are really low quality, you know what I'm talking about, like fast foods, deep fried foods. In most cases, we don't have that trigger or that emotional connection to it. It's just, let's see how fast we can eat this food. Your digestion doesn't really start, and the problem is that we eat our food so quick you don't even give your body a chance to digest the food properly, which is where more of that bloating comes in. So chewing your food, okay, understanding that it starts with your brain first, and whether that's visual, smell, taste, your digestion is actually kick-starting earlier than you think it does before it hits your digestion or before it hits your gut. So that's one thing. And then understanding the more you chew your food, the more your body helps break that food down before it hits your gut and digestion and intestines. A lot of times, like, have you ever seen someone, it could be you, no offense if it is, but you've seen someone or you're at a restaurant and you see someone eat their food like incredibly quickly, that I always think to myself, how, like, think about your body, for example. Like, your body's like, how could I possibly digest that food in that short amount of time? So you have a huge plate of food and you eat it in 4 minutes. Like, you've seen people like swallow their food, and it's like, of course something's going to happen. Gas, bloating, indigestion, acid reflux, because you haven't given your body a chance to digest that food. So digestion is a big part of what we do with our clients, helping them understand these concepts. But I guess, like, the very root of helping you guys understand in particular, you have to start chewing your food. You have to slow down. Mindful eating is important to me. And I think explaining that or expressing that would be beneficial to you guys. Drink beverages at room temperature. This is another one, very important. This goes way back to like Ayurvedic, I don't want to say medicine, more Ayurvedic lifestyle. Like, this is way thousands of years ago in the East. Like, they knew that room temperature or even warm liquids are better for digestion than cold. So just think about, like, your intestines, they're actually warm. Like, everything is hot. Your mouth is like it's a really high degree temperature. And then we put cold into our mouth, and we put cold into our body and cold into our digestion. We're like trying to get our body to digest this food that we're eating far too quickly, and we're putting cold liquids. It's like a shock to our system. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to drink a warm beer or whatever it is. I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to help you understand this is what happens. And I'll level that up and tell you a quick story. We were actually in Sri Lanka, and it was like scorching. It was the hottest I've ever been. And they served spicy food, and it was like the temperature outside was super hot. And it was like, and then they came to the tables and they served you a warm glass of water. And I'm like, it is so hot. How could you possibly give us anything warm? But they knew that, like, that's part of their culture, and that will actually help with digestion instead of the opposite of like, here's a giant glass of ice water. Good luck, right? We have a few people jump in here. I think I said hi to Sam and Randall. Ed's in here. And I'm not even sure. Bran jumped in here. Greem? Gordon? Is that how you say that? Let me know in the comments. Okay, this one says, have your dentures checked for a good fit. I have zero experience with that, so I'm going to pass that one. Maybe that's something you want to look into. Increase physical activity during the day. So one of the things that you can do, or let me take a step back. One of the worst things that you can do is have like a giant turkey meal at like Thanksgiving or Christmas, and then you lay there on the couch and you're like, oh, I ate so much food, and you probably take a nap. That does not help your digestion. Getting up and moving after a meal is a great thing. Like, it's a great idea. It's probably something you should consider after your meal, whether that's walking around the house, going for a walk outside. Definitely getting moving and getting your body helping improve digestion. So I'm talking about digestion a lot here because when you are bloated, it's all based around your digestion. So we really lack the good microbiomes, that good bacteria that your body needs to break down on a regular basis. So your body is kind of like, it's almost like rejecting. Your body's almost in a state of inflammation. It's rejecting what you're putting in it. So all these little steps can improve or will improve your digestion and reduce your amount of bloating. One of the things I want to mention here before I forget is activated charcoal. This is one of our products. We've seen incredible results, especially with women in bloating, 40 plus. And it really helps detox your body on a deeper level. I would say on a cellular level, because we continually put foods in our body that we shouldn't necessarily be putting in. That's one. We eat too quickly. That's two. And then we don't know what, like, say you go to a restaurant, like, they're not using a high quality oil. They're probably using a cheap Crisco oil just because it's so expensive to buy groceries, right? So for you to understand that if you detox your body on a regular basis, there are some types of products that could help. Activated charcoal is at the top of my list. Graham. Graham? Is it Graham or Graham? Interesting name. Sorry for the butchering of your name. Re-release amylase in our saliva to start digestion. Yes, I did mention that at the beginning. Thank you for sharing that. Fantastic. Good morning, Tracy. Let's see. Sit up straight after eating. Take a stroll after. Okay, take a stroll after eating. I don't know about sitting up. Probably laying down or napping after a meal. Not the best idea. I think that's what they're saying here. Okay, how do I stop? How do I stop hormonal bloating? Getting relief. Limit your salt in your diet. Eating salty foods might make you retain more water. Okay, pretty general statement. Take magnesium. Magnesium supplements may reduce retention. I don't think it's like I don't agree with this here. Take water pills, also called diuretics. I'm not a fan. You can get these in medicines by prescription to help reduce fluid backup. Okay, my opinion. I don't think we're trying to dehydrate our bodies. That's what diuretics do, like coffee, for example. Don't talk about my coffee. I know, right? It's a diuretic. You have to look at hydrating your body properly. And I would take that with a grain of salt because I think a lot of times we just focus on hydration. Like I'll ask someone like, what are you working on? Or what's one thing that you can improve on? And it's a pretty general blanket statement of, I could improve my hydration or I could drink more water. That's fine. Most people could. But you don't want to drink too much water during your meal. So if you're chugging water during your meal, that dilutes the digestive enzymes and bacteria in your gut that's helping break down the food. So you probably only want to you want to sip your water, and then of course you have to look at sugary drinks, right? But I would suggest, let's say you're having water, room temperature water with your meal. I particularly really like to enjoy like a hot glass of water, often lemon water, with my meal. I feel like that helps with digestion. Certainly would help with bloating. But if you are chugging your water, that's going to reduce the ability for your body to break down the food. So that's something that should be considered. I don't agree with you should be looking at diuretics to get rid of the water in your body. I think it's the opposite. I think we're more hydrated than hydrated. So I'm going to disagree with that one with the Google. Let's see. Is there anything else? I'd like to keep these ones short. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. I'm just going to pull up a couple more. How do I stop bloating at 45? Exercise regularly to digest. I mean, that's pretty general. If you exercise, it'll help with many things. Chew with your mouth closed to avoid air swallowing. Interesting. I have never heard of this. Has anyone heard of this before? Let me know in the comments. Have you heard of air or swallowing air? If my throat wasn't bugging me, I'd probably be laughing hysterically. I have never heard of swallowing air. Let me know if you guys have. Drink plenty of water. I think that's false. I would suggest not drinking so much water or too much water. Foods in high fiber, if constipated, yeah. Again, pretty general. But that is a good point. In my opinion, you need a well balance of macronutrients. Like fiber from veggies is one of them, and also fiber from complex carbs is another one of them. What we teach our clients is balancing macros, balancing the 4 macros. Most people only even if people are, I feel like this is where we stand out a bit. Even if people are balancing the macros, they only balance 3 macros and not 4. If you're not familiar with what those are, there's protein, fats, complex carbs. Those are the 3 that most balance. And I would say what we call the missing macro or the hidden macro is veggies / antioxidants and fiber. That will definitely help improve digestion. I would say most people don't get enough fiber in their diet. You could look at supplementing, like we have spirulina and chlorella as greens to help with antioxidants. I really have a hard time, even though half of our business is a supplement business, I have a really hard time. I don't think you can out-supplement a bad diet. So if you're not going to consume enough fiber in your diet and you're just going to grab, what is that, like Metamucil Smooth? Like, I feel like that's a really bad idea. I don't like the word bad, but it's a Band-Aid and it's not going to fix anything. Certainly not your gut microbiome and all the ingredients that they put in that junk. It's a shame that you have doctors that actually recommend that, but that's just my opinion. They'd probably disagree with me. You actually need a diet, like a well-rounded diet. When I don't mean diet as short term, a well-rounded lifestyle meal plan, high in fiber, so you can digest properly. And that comes from proper veggies. And if you're not going to eat veggies, then you should certainly supplement with something like spirulina chlorella. That's just my opinion. Eating smaller meals more frequently instead of large meals. This is a good one. A lot of times people get lost in how, like, what that looks like. So most women in this age group come to us and they're eating like usually twice a day. Twice a day, maybe a snack. And when I say snack, I'm talking about not a balanced meal with the 4 macros. It's like I'm having toast and avocado, like avocado toast, or I just have toast and peanut butter as a meal, or I'll have a boiled egg. Like that's not, I wouldn't consider that a meal. I'd consider that a snack. So that's when I say, like, a lot of women in this age group come to us and they're having a reasonable lunch, usually a huge dinner, which isn't great for digestion, and then some snack in between there, whether they're making the kids lunch or whether they're just forgetting to eat because they're so busy. Regardless of what that is or what that looks like, there's not enough nutrients going through your body to help improve digestion. It's really a lack thereof. So when we talk about smaller meals, it could be a protein shake, for example. We have a really nice recipe. You can ask in the comments if you want it. It's called a protein pack. It's like a protein snack pack, and it's jam-packed with protein. And most women in this age group also don't get enough protein, unfortunately. But as long as you're balancing your macros and getting enough calories in the day, I think you're okay. It's the giant meals where we run into the bloating in particular. Like, for example, you're not eating anything all morning and you're starving at lunch, so you have a huge meal and you swallow it as quickly as possible because you don't have time in the day, or you haven't made time, I should say. And that's something we help our clients with, is stacking habits and creating systems in their life so it doesn't feel like such a chore to sit down for a few minutes and actually chew your food and eat. And then again, in the evening, a giant dinner, and probably carb heavy in most cases. And then trying to figure out, and then probably laying on the couch and scrolling. And then because you're nutrient deprived and lacking calories that your body needs to properly thrive, then we hit the pantry, like bored, not really sure what to do in the evening, and you go for the chips, cookies, pops. You know what I'm talking about, the things that you probably shouldn't be consuming anyways, just out of 2 things. One of it is boredom and habits, and the other one is lacking of nutrients. So when we put our ladies on a proper diet, and again, when I say diet, I think most of you know I don't mean diet. I guess there's some people newer in here, but I mean your diet, lifestyle diet. When we put them on a proper calorie count and show them how to actually balance their macros properly, their cravings disappear in the evenings because they're not lacking the calories that their bodies needs to perform optimally. So I guess there's a lot more to that than a short explanation, but that's what we do with our people. We saw Rose jumped in here, Sherry jumped in here, Allison jumped in here. Good morning, everyone. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna wrap things up here. I like to keep these ones shorter. I'm trying to go live here every Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time here on this group, here on this page, and then I go 7:30 live in our private Facebook group. So if you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments and we can add you to that group if you're not in it already. Strike a pose. Seek warmth. Okay. This is interesting. Okay, this looks like it might be fun. 11 ways that can help relieve bloating. Take a walk. Yeah, walking is good after eating, for sure. And expel extra air. What do you suppose that means? Okay. Diaphragm breathing. Okay. I don't agree. I'm not sure. Maybe making some extra room in your digestive tract. Strike a pose. Okay, this. I don't know where we got to here. This is actually from NHS, which is somewhere in the UK, and it doesn't matter. I like to look at sources. This is me personally when I'm doing research and I'm trying to figure out why people are saying what they're saying. I like to try to figure out where it's coming from. This is some type of medical website in the UK. Maybe that's not interesting to you guys. Let's move on. Seek warmth. Not sure what that means. Massage your middle. I'm guessing your belly. Possibly. Oh, hot chamomile tea or ginger. Ginger has been mentioned. Ginger's great for digestion. I'm a big fan of ginger. And try peppermint oil capsules. Actually, let's take a step back, and I would say that peppermint is actually good for your digestion. So peppermint tea, like peppermint ginger tea, very good for digestion to help reduce bloating. I'm going to wrap things up here. I'm at the shipping house. It's obviously getting a bit loud with people showing up to work, so I'm going to jump off. If you guys need help with anything, reach out. Trueformlife.com is our main website. Otherwise, we're here to offer support and share information. Hopefully these are helpful. Let me know in the comments if you like these myth-busting types of episodes, because I can certainly do more if we have people that are enjoying this type of content. Anyways, have a great day. We'll catch up with you soon. Bye, everyone.